Looks Nelson with the At Me Bro Show. Long time no see, but you guys are going to be seeing a lot more of me now that the new game is out. So the first question I wanted to get into is, will the dribbling be good in this game? That's the main thing. Will the dribbling be good? And so the number one tip I would say when you're playing the demo is, although they in 2KU they give you the dribbling moves with Pat Beverly, I don't think Pat Beverly has, in fact I'm almost certain he does not have an 86 ball control. I don't know why they gave him to you as the player to use, but he's a terrible character to try the dribbling on. So go into triple threat and use Kawhi, or go into passing where you could use Kawhi and Paul George. All right, so that's number one. So the first thing I would say is I feel like dribbling is actually probably going to be stronger than it was in 2K20. Now, that's an early judgment, so, take it with a grain of salt. But there's a few things in here that really make me think that it can be a lot better than it was last year. It's still going to be similar. It's not like going to be a world apart, at least, not from what I can tell. But there are a few things in here that give me a lot of hope for the dribbling right away. So number one, momentum dribbling is still in the game. It feels a little bit faster. And the thing about the momentum dribbling is there's a few moves now that were completely useless before, or borderline useless, that now have a purpose. So go with the in and out dribble, right? So the in and out dribble, you can break out of the in and out dribble right away, right? So right there, I actually broke out of it immediately. I didn't even let the dribble play out. So there we go. We let it play out, and you can literally move right out of the in and out dribble. So this dribble is almost like the quick startup that was in the demo last year, where you would like explode last year. They actually took that out of the game. So the cool thing about the in and out is you can also momentum immediately out of it. At any point during any of these animation frames, can you momentum out of it? So this is going to add a little bit of a rhythm mix up into the dribbles that you're doing, and based on what the defender's doing, you can go either way. So that's number one. Number two is a move you guys might have seen early on, which is this let's see if I can do it right. This hop is like really clean now, right? And you can momentum out of that hop. So that's really good. And then you've got this little bunny hop that is really easy to do, the old kind of KD size up type deal. That's really easy. And again, you can momentum out of that immediately. So that right away, to me, looks like the dribbling is going to be a little more free, a little better than it was last year. And then keep in mind, this is another thing I'm seeing that's returned, is the kind of quick stop step back is back. So you combine those three things right away: the in and out, the quick stop step back, that hippity hop thing. It's really four things. This rock the baby kind of size up dribble. You see the whoopties back. There's a lot of tools here. Now I've only been working with this for like maybe an hour, maybe less, probably about 40 minutes. I was eating breakfast while I was doing this, and I found a bunch of stuff. Now, if you guys were trying this out with Patrick Beverly, I'm sure you were like, oh my God, this feels terrible. But it's Pat Beverly. He's not a good dribbler in real life. He's not a good dribbler in the game, unless you're talking about like a My Team card or something where they juice his dribbles. But for a good player like Kawhi, and Kawhi is obviously not even the best ball handler in the game. So, I still got a lot more exploring to do. This isn't a full dribble tutorial or anything like that. Just kind of my early review, my early notes is that the dribbling is going to be good, because you've got a lot more rhythms and ways to move and hippity hop and back and forth and up and down. You can definitely move around in the dribbling. It's not nearly as glitchy as like 2K16 and stuff like that, but I would definitely say that it looks like it's going to be pretty good. Now, I say this is an early review or early kind of impressions, because I got to see how the defense interacts with it and all that other kind of stuff. So if people can just mash square and stop all of this, then obviously it won't be good. But my indication is the characters are creating so much space with this dribbling that if you get really good on the sticks, and really if you can read your opponent, because the thing I like about a lot of these dribble moves I'm seeing is they cause your opponent to have to make a read. Like you're moving your character around and you're creating space, and these kind of things, with the shooting and depending on what kind of character you're using, this is the kind of stuff where your opponent has to make decisions on how they're going to play you. And when you can get a read on an opponent like that, that's when it can be really like really good. You see that kind of back and forth. The old misdirection is back. The momentum works well with the moving dribbles also. And keep in mind, I have a lot of muscle memory from 2K20 that I have to work out. So I'm definitely not prepared to give you guys like a full-on tutorial or anything like that. But as you can see from me just kind of moving around, there's definitely some tools to work with. And yeah, you know, I would say at dribbling, mechanically, it's easier than it was last year. But you know, it's brand new and there's a lot to keep track of. So I have to, you know, see how it all comes together. But all that having been said, yeah, I like the way it feels. I like the changes. There's a few things that definitely feel a little awkward, but I don't know. I mean, I think the early signs for the dribbling is really good. The hop steps are still in there. Again, till I see how the defense interacts, I don't know if they'll still be super OP or anything like that. But this rock the baby type deal, this new in and out that you can actually combo out of, this hop step back that's in the game, the misdirection step back that's still in the game. Keep in mind, Kawhi doesn't have perfect SIGs, right? You know, we have to kind of make do with the SIGs that are in the game. So that's another thing I'm thinking about. I'm like, okay, so if Kawhi already feels good as a dribbler, then if you have perfect SIGs and you have all of the, you know, animations that you really want, yeah, you can probably put together an amazing dribble package if you're talking about my career. For my team, they're definitely going to be, I mean, I would say Kawhi is going to be a good my team card again this year, which is to be expected because he basically is good at everything. As a dribbler, he probably feels a little better than he did last year, to be honest with you, just by having this kind of rock the baby stuff and, you know, this misdirection step back and the hop and everything I've already showed you guys. Yeah, he'll probably be better than he was last year, especially once you start getting into pink diamond Kawhis. But for Park and my career players, yeah, you're definitely going to be able to put together some SIGs to do some stuff. I was terrified when I was dribbling with Pat Bev. I was like, what is this foolishness? I don't understand what's happening. This guy can't move. But it's Patrick Beverley. And in the back of my head, I'm like, all right, maybe, you know, Pat Beverley's bad. Maybe somewhere in this demo, I'll be able to find somebody else to dribble with. And luckily for both the passing, I'll show you guys the passing tutorial real quick so we can look at Paul George's SIGs. If you go into triple threat, you play with Kawhi, and if you go into passing, you get Kawhi and Paul George and Marcus Morris, but who's dribbling with Marcus Morris, right? So okay, and so I'll show you, and you know, you get rid of the demo screen by, in fact, let me get Marcus Morris out of here. Let me get Kawhi out of here, and we'll get Paul George. There we go. So you get rid of it by pressing the, I don't know what it is on Xbox, guys, I'm sorry. But on PlayStation, you press the PlayStation black bar to pull the tutorial down. Okay, so Paul George, you can see he has a faster momentum dribble package, right? Like you see his momentum dribble moves him a little more to the side. And again, the rock the baby aspects are still there. So, and you know, in the step back aspects are still there. So all of that stuff is working together. So I still, and again, there's two things working against me here. Number one, I obviously have muscle memory from everything's different. Like literally all of the dribbles are you know, inputted differently. But the other thing is I'm also playing with control freaks on because I wanted to give this shot stick thing a chance. But the range of motion is so tiny that I think 2K21 might be a lot better if you play with control freaks on and raise your controller. And if you guys aren't familiar with control freaks, it's basically these things that go on the top of your controller to make your sticks higher. And making your stick higher gives you more range of motion. People use it a lot in shooters. A lot of people use it in MLB The Show, so that they can, you know, move so they can have more subtle angles with the swings and stuff like that. And because I'll show you guys. So a lot of people are confused about the shot meter, and I'll discuss that real quick, even though this is a dribbling thing. So if I hold down on a stick, you see my shot meter. It shows up in kind of a random place, and then it says slightly right. Now, if I move my shots, now I'm going to do the same shot, and I'm going to move my shot stick. And I'm going to move it bad, and you're going to see I'm going to miss wide. You see there, I moved it to the right. So there's two things going on. The first thing you're doing is you're reacting to where the little square is, and the second thing you're doing is you're moving your stick a little bit. Now, you're moving your stick very little. That's the key, right? So right there, if you saw, I moved my stick very, very, very little. So using the right stick is very different than using the shot meter, because the right stick, you start kind of on in the green zone already, and you want to move it to the center green zone. So you see there, I'm able to move just a little bit, and mind you, I just started doing this. You see how my stick is moving just a little bit? That's because I have the control freaks on, and it's much easier to take smaller angles. But I'm not used to dribbling with control freaks on. So, you know, it's gonna take some getting used to between the 2K21 dribbling and having the control freaks. But that having been said, I like a lot of what I'm seeing. I was a little nervous at first with Pat Bev, but Pat Bev is a terrible dribbler. So, you know, now we're in a situation where I'm definitely liking what I'm seeing. The hardest thing to get used to is the between the legs is just regular crossover. And before it was, you know, downward diagonal. Now downward diagonal is behind the back, as you guys will learn in the tutorial. Like I said, this isn't a dribble tutorial. I'm just kind of like early dribbling discussion. But my early dribbling discussion is that this is probably really good. You know, momentum dribbling is easier than it ever was. And if you guys are curious how to do it, it's basically, you can do it either with the crossover, like any crossover type move, and then you just press up on the stick to start moving. So it's actually easier than it's ever been to momentum dribble. So, you know, I'm just pressing up on the stick right there, and before the ball crosses over, I'm pushing up on the left stick. So up on the right stick, up on the left stick. That'll get you with the momentum cross. And then obviously you can combine any dribble move after that applies. So I said it wasn't going to be a tutorial, but there I at least gave you guys momentum dribble. So that is it. I'm going to cut it short here because I do want to come back later when I'm more informed and educated about the demo. Before I leave, I will look at the comments and see what you guys are saying in chat. Thanks for everybody who's joining me. I see a bunch of you guys dropped in. I hope you're all doing well. I see a lot of early reaction stuff about how everybody, you know, oh, the demo is just the same. No, I mean, guys, I'm the type of person, I'm going to get in here and break it down for a little while before I make any early judgments on the game. So that having been said, yeah, dribbling looks like it's going to be pretty good. I have high hopes for the dribbling. I have high hopes that it'll be more fun. I have high hopes that it'll be better. And I will see you guys in the next one. I don't know what the next one's going to be about. It really depends on what I'm going to be, you know, discovering and uncovering as far as the game. But I will say there will definitely be discussions of archetypes and which characters will most likely be good day one and that sort of thing. But the more I figure out how the game works, the more I'll be able to discover like which archetypes would be good. If every archetype could play defense, then defensive archetypes are not as valuable. If every archetype can shoot, then shooting archetypes are not as valuable. So, you know, the tuning in the game will cause some margin of error when it comes to builds, but we can kind of guesstimate because my early guesstimations last year were all correct. We got the two-way slashing playmaker, the shot creator, all day one, you know, all of that stuff we figured out literally day zero. So hopefully we'll have the same luck and accurate analysis this year since this is so similar to 2K20 in terms of the builds. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.